I am a medical doctor, and I know there are not many medical doctors in this audience, so I'm feeling scared. But there is a difference in this audience and the audience that I normally speak to in medical doctors. We use a lot of medical jargon, and I'll try not to do that here. And the second thing is, in the post-lunch session in medical conferences, half the audience is not awake. But here I find that everybody is awake and listening, which is really remarkable. You should give yourself a clap at the end of it. As Chairman Sir has pointed out, Dr. Hutton and the representative from DFR has enlisted some of the activities that will happen. My talk today would be basically as to how we got involved and what we are up to in helping this program, which is an ISRO-driven program. So I represent the Institute of Aerospace Medicine, which was formed in 1957, primarily to look after the Air Force requirements for aviators and the HAL, the Indian aviation industry, which was starting to make the new aircrafts in the country. So whatever research was required in making those aircrafts and giving the human inputs, we were involved with it since 1957. To enhance the capacity of the aircrew, we had the human centrifuge right in 1966 from Germany. And slowly the institute has been progressing. We have a course, which is a 3-year post-graduation course in aerospace medicine, the only institute in the country which does that. 1980s, we got involved when the Indian cosmonaut through the Russian mission went into space. That selection process was conducted in our institution. We are proud of it. There was another attempt to have astronauts through the American program, wherein also selections were done. People were selected, however, that mission did not go through because of the Challenger crash. Early 2000, we again got involved with the ISRO program, as Chairman Sir brought out, and we have been partners in this program development ever since. Of course, we have a role primarily to support the human being who is going to be inside, and the why we are there is because we have been in the business of evaluating people for aviation duties, and aerospace is an extension of that duty. But of course, the environment is much more unforgiving in space. As you all know, from ground level to 10,000 feet is where we can function very comfortably. Beyond 10,000 feet, even in land, we start having problems. People start difficulty in breathing, people have problems of headache, high altitude diseases. Now, we are talking about space, where other influences come. The gravity, which is supporting a lot of function inside the human body, is not there. The change from the earthbound environment into space, the non-availability of immediate medical help. An aircraft, as you know, would fly for 3 hours, 4 hours maximum. Probably some with refueling can go up to 10 hours, 12 hours, but not beyond. After that, they land. But herein, we are talking about a mission which is longer. Initially, like Sir mentioned, 3 days, but in time, it will go longer. So we are bothered about what would affect this human being. That can be in terms of the environment in which he is staying, the absence of gravity, the way the body adapts to these changes, the way long-term also, how the body would respond to this, how when he comes back into Earth, he would respond to the fresh forces of gravitation, how he acclimatizes to those. So those are the areas which we have to think about. Towards that, we have a role in selecting the person who is going into space, and a lot of investigations, tests, battery of tests, decision matrices were used to arrive at that decision. It is not simple, especially so because our program is a long-term program. It is not that we go and come back and that is the end of it. It's a long-term program, so we need the crew to be fit for a long period of time. So a lot of tests were done, a lot of tests are concurrently being done, and their fitness being monitored. We have a role in all other activities also, like the environmental control life support system, the requirements, the testing of those equipments, training of the crew who are going to be there, which in our institute with the human centrifuge, with the hypoxia chambers where we can simulate higher altitudes, the motion system, the spatial disorientation simulator, and several such sort of analogs of microgravity, like the dry flotation or the lower body negative pressure. Those are available for research as well as for training this person who is going into space, and also in preparing him for what will happen when he comes back. It's an interesting journey which we have embarked upon. It is, in effect, a sort of a relay race in which many people get involved. It's not an individual effort. It is also that the entire audience in the auditorium is looking at you as to what these people are up to, how these people are accomplishing what they are. But let me tell you, more than the destination, the journey is really, really interesting. It has been interesting so far, and I'm sure it will be in the times to come. Thank you so much for a patient hearing.